So I just played you the state anthem of Perak, Allah lanjutkan usia Sultan. Sounds familiar? Well, it might be because its melody was chosen as the national anthem of Malaysia, Negaraku, when Malaysia got its independence. Cheers. Well, I played you the state anthem of Perak because I'm taking you to Batu Gajah, Perak to visit Kelly's Castle. Cheers. Kelly's Castle is located about 2 hours drive from Kuala Lumpur. What you do is you take the north-south highway from Kuala Lumpur, exit at Simpang Pulai. After the exit at Simpang Pulai is just a 10-minute drive away to reach the castle. And from the castle, the Sri Maha Mariamman Temple is located just 1 kilometer away from Kelly's Castle, so you can visit both these sites together. Can you see me?
I think so.
Okay, hi guys. Today we are visiting Kelly's Castle in Batu Pahat, and it's built by this guy, Scottish guy called William Kelly Smith, who came here in the early 20th century and then decided to build this mansion, but he never finished it. So I'll take you up and we'll have a look at it. Cheers. This is a side view of Kelly's Castle. As you walk over towards it, you can see parts of the building are actually white in color. This is where Kelly actually experimented with lime wash as a paint. He painted a bit of the building to see how it looked like. As you walk over to the side of Kelly's Castle and come up the stairs over here, you can see what remains of the first house, Kellas house. Only the brickworks remain. The wooden bungalow had been destroyed by Japanese bombing, and Kelly was attempting to build this castle over here, Kelly's Castle, and link the two buildings together. Interestingly, there were no servants' quarters or kitchen in Kelly's Castle, so probably the kitchen and servant quarters would remain in the old bungalow. The reason Kelly wanted to build a brick mansion was because it would be cooler as opposed to a wooden bungalow in the tropical heat. Okay. Nice. So for the first floor of Kelly's Castle, I'll first take you to see the main hall, and then we'll have a look at the living room where it's been recreated from pictures. Then see the family altar. Then go on to the dining room, and there's a small store over here. Then walk through the reading room, and then we'll enter the wine cellar. We are now entering the main hall of Kelly's Castle, and adjacent to this is the living hall. And this living hall has been furnished as an example to see how it would look like in Kelly's time, based on photographs of pictures of Kellas house. Kelly had a wide eclectic taste. He had Chinese ceramics, Persian carpets, English watercolors, and even stuff from India and Southeast Asia. Kelly and his family were Catholics, and this is the location of your family altar. Interestingly, there was no cement in those days, and so all these bricks are actually plastered together with a mixture of dark egg white, sand, chalk, honey and sugar, and is still standing up to today. The river seen from this window is Sungai Raya, a tributary of Sungai Kinta. This is the vast dining room seen in Kelly's castle. As you know, Kelly and Agnes were fond of entertaining, and the windows and doors have this Mughal architecture, and the frames are made of hardwood. And this hardwood is believed to be more than 200 years old without any signs of decay. This storeroom or pantry room located adjacent to the dining room would be where food would be kept before being served to guests, since there was no kitchen in this building. This is the reading room we are entering now. Many visitors have claimed to have heard ghostly echoes of voices of people speaking as though in a party when they enter this room until they leave it. Now these steps lead down into the wine cellar. This wine cellar is kept underground to keep the temperature down to store all the bottles of wine, and it is believed that there can be up to 3,000 bottles of wine stored here. There is also supposed to be an underground passage here leading right to the Indian Sri Mahamariman temple, but that tunnel was sealed off in 2003 for safety reasons by the museum authorities. On the first floor, I'll take you to see the guest room, and then we'll go into the linen room and then walk along the balcony, which is supposed to be haunted, enter the son's room and join up with the daughter's room, and then finally enter the master bedroom and take the escape route down to the ground floor. We're now climbing up the steps to get a view of the upper floors. On the first floor here, you can see the guest room, which Kelly prepared for visiting relatives, friends and business associates. Descendants of Kelly's workers also mentioned a secret passage here to the castle ground. We are now entering the linen room located on the first floor of Kelly's castle. Victorian era houses always had this linen room where they stored table and bed linen in a dry environment. So in this balcony here, we're supposed to be apparitions seen at night of Kelly and sometimes his wife. Doesn't look so eerie in the daytime, but at night I wonder. This room was built for the son Anthony, who was born 11 years after the daughter Helen, and you can see there's a secret staircase running down in case of intruders. And Anthony's room was connected to Helen's room through this passageway, and visitors have often said that they claim to have seen Helen's ghost, the apparition of a 6-year-old girl in a white blouse and curly hair running out of the room at night. We are now entering the master bedroom, which was supposed to be for Kelly and Agnes. And interestingly, if you look at the walls, they feature elegant, ornate, neoclassical friezes over here where you could actually frame works of art. Now Kelly's room, master room, leads to a spiral staircase over here where they could run away in case of emergencies, and the stairs actually goes right down out to the back of the house. You can see we come out right at the back to escape in case of intruders. I'm going up the stairs, curving stairs to the higher floors. So Kelly actually planned to have a lift in his house, and this was actually the lift shaft which was being completed. When he went to Lisbon to get the stuff for the elevator, he caught pneumonia and passed away there. This is the topmost guest room, and a short flight of stairs from this guest room would take you out into an open area where there were plans for an open air tennis court and a place for entertaining guests with a view of the Kinta Valley. So this is where Kelly would have his parties, planned to have his parties after the building was completed with his guests. So from this open air space, one could view the Kinta Valley. In addition to that, the lawn, the garden, and his garage where he was supposed to have 4 parked cars. Kelly freely mixed architectural styles. In the top floor you can see Gothic style windows, in the first floor Mughal arches, and in the ground floor there was the characteristic step head windows, which became popular as the Art Deco style 20 years later. We are now looking at Kailash House, the remains of which the wooden parts have all been destroyed during the Japanese bombing during World War II. The Japanese bombed this building because they thought such a big building would have an important military figure staying in. So you can see from here to at the back behind me was actually Kelly's first house where he stayed, and then he tried to build a castle over there and connect both the two buildings. This is the kitchen. You can see the oven made of bricks, which is already 100 years old for his first house. So this was the Hindu temple located just 1 kilometer away from Kelly's castle, and Kelly built this temple at the request of the Indian community in honor to appease the gods after the Spanish flu outbreak. The temple was dedicated to the Hindu god Mariamman to ask for forgiveness and protection. When the new temple was consecrated, the sickness ended. In return for his generosity, the Indian community crafted and placed the statue of Kelly alongside Hindu deities on the roof of the temple. And if you see over here, the row of statues there, you can see the statue of Kelly nicely sitting alongside the Hindu gods. So that was our quick tour of Kelly's castle, the castle that became known as From Kelly's Castle to Kelly's Folly. Cheers from this edition of Life at 50.